All right, let's turn to this now. The NPA will reopen the inquest into the death of anti-apartheid activist Chief Albert Luthuli and Mxenge, aiming to overturn previous findings and bring closure to their families. Now, in a collaboration with the TRC, the National Archives, 2 concurrent inquests will begin at the Pietermaritzburg High Court on Monday. For more insights on this conversation, we're joined now by Luthuli's grandson, Albert Luthuli. Good to have you, son. Thank you very much for your time once again that we're having this conversation. It's finally here. I mean, of course, there's been a build-up. We've spoken about it over months and periods to come to this point. How do you feel?
Good afternoon, Mr. Luthuli, and good afternoon to the listeners. We feel, or as a family, and for myself, I feel happy on the one hand and also unhappy. It's a bittersweet moment. Okay, sweet in the sense that finally what we've been looking for will happen.
Yeah.
Okay, the inquest will be reopened, and that the truth surrounding Chief Luthuli's death will eventually emerge.
Yeah.
Okay, and that truth is that Chief Luthuli was not hit by a train. That Chief Luthuli was murdered by the apartheid regime. Yeah. That is the truth. And the inquest processes will prove that.
There was a point in our conversation while you were there where you felt as if almost something or some powers were trying to bury this thing from coming to pass.
Yes. Yes, I did have that, I did hold that view. Yeah. I still hold it. And it's not just a view, it's actually a fact. Okay. You know, somebody as great as Chief Luthuli, you know, dying under mysterious circumstances, you would have expected that the ANC, upon coming back to South Africa, you know, would reopen the inquests and, you know, push for the truth to come out. Yeah. They did not do that. In fact, there was a lot of stonewalling, and not just of Chief Luthuli's case, but all of the other cases, you know, of victims of apartheid violence. And it has taken the families, you know, to push all of this time. It's now close to 30 years that we've been pushing to have these inquests reopened. So it's a shame. It's actually a shame. My view is that the ANC has betrayed South Africans, particularly black South Africans.
Let's talk now about what you particularly are questioning as a family. One of the things you're questioning is a doctor's report that would have declared your granddad deaf and dumb, basically, yeah. Saying he could not hear the train. And you're saying one of the things you're going to challenge is particular that. Is that the only thing that you're going to challenge in this case?
No, there are a few things that we are challenging. Okay, so let me start with the first one that you're talking about. The claim that Chief Luthuli was knocked down by a train because he couldn't see the train coming and he couldn't hear it because he was half blind and deaf is a lie. Okay, when they came out to make that announcement, the family knew immediately that something was amiss, because obviously the family would know if somebody within the family is blind or deaf. Yeah. And we knew that Chief Luthuli was neither blind nor deaf. And it's not just the family, it's also the community members and everybody else that interacted with Chief Luthuli. Okay, he was a leader after all, not just in his community, but nationally and internationally. So, but you know, the apartheid regime at the time did things with impunity. You know, they could just give whatever excuse. I mean, with some of the other murders that were happening in prison cells, they would just say somebody slipped in the shower and they knocked their head on the wall or something and died.
They threw themselves out the window.
Or they threw themselves out of the window. crazy stuff like that.
Yeah.
They acted with impunity, and they knew that we didn't have, we couldn't do anything. We couldn't go to any media houses to talk about these things. We couldn't take our complaints to any court of law. So that was the one thing. But the other thing is that the injuries that Chief Luthuli suffered, okay, were not the injuries of a person who has been knocked down by a train.
Right.
Chief Luthuli had one major injury, okay? It was an injury at the back of his head, a deep, deep scar that went into his skull as if he had been struck by a sharp metallic object.
Sure.
Okay? Other than that, he didn't have any major... He had a few bruises on 2 or 3 different parts of his body.
No other broken bones, nothing?
No broken bones, nothing. Now, if you're knocked down by a train, you would expect your injuries to be far more extensive. You know, as you say, maybe broken bones and things like that. There was none of that, okay? So, again, from that, we knew that this was a lie. Yeah. And by the way, Chief Luthuli walked that route on a regular basis.
Right.
Yeah.
This is done on the basis, of course, of a Section 17A, subsection 1 of the Inquest Act of 1959, wherein, of course, the Minister of Justice, Constitutional Development may, on recommendation of the Attorney General concerned at any time after the determination of an inquest, and if or she deems it necessary, if it's in the interest of justice. That's what has happened now. The NPA has recommended to the minister.
Yeah.
In a time when the NPA is going through a lot of reputational challenges, if you want, because of the cases that they've currently been dealing with. How do you feel about the NPA's handling of this matter? I mean, are you confident that they will be able to handle this matter correctly?
Look, the expertise within the NPA is obviously a concern. I mean, we've got this Omotoso case. There have been other cases that have been bundled, okay? However, you know, we don't have a choice, you know, and I can't say that we're not confident that the NPA will do a good job. We trust them. We trust the advocate and advocates that are involved in the case. We hope and believe that they will do a good job, okay? The second thing, though, is that as far as we are concerned, you know, the facts are so clear that it would be very difficult to bundle up a case such as this one. Okay. Thirdly, expert reports have been given. You know, there's when you open an inquest, you have to submit to the minister information that casts doubt on the original causes or reasons that were given for the cause of death. Yeah. And in order to do that, experts had to be assembled who looked at the whole scene, previous reports. There were neurosurgeons, there were even mathematicians and railway experts and all of that. So, and they have submitted their reports, and those reports were part of the bundle that was submitted to the minister for the inquest to be open. And so, you know, because of that, we think that the chances of bundling up this case are very slim.
Right. Sir, we appreciate your time. Thank you very much for coming in once again. That is the grandson to Chief Albert Luthuli. This, of course, following news that the inquest is now going to be open, certainly going ahead in earnest.